I mean, this movie isn't bad, but talk about falling face first off a cliff. It's not a bad film, but I'll just let the review do the talking for me. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Animation Station, your most sister fan of animation, including TVs and movies as well. I'm your host, Jackson Small. Let's talk about Despicable Me 3 and how it pretty much completely and utterly fails. I don't really have a whole lot to say. It hasn't gotten better since I first saw it, the way I'll put it. So, I'm going to let my written review do the talking for me because I just want to get done with this one as fast as possible because I don't want to talk about it again. Because coming off of the amazing, excellent 2, this is unacceptable. So here's my written review. I hope you enjoy. And no, there's no cursing. Don't worry. I'm ditching that to try and be more professional from now on. While I went pretty much in depth for the reviews of the first 2 films, I don't really feel much of a need to do so for this third one because my thoughts haven't changed much in the past few years. I kinda ended up losing interest in the franchise by this point, so I didn't see this one until December of 2019, when my great-grandmother decided to buy it for her collection to have on for the kids during Christmas Eve. And when I first saw it then, I thought it was just okay. When I first saw it, I thought it was fine, definitely a background noise movie, but I didn't think it was, terrible or anything like that. And watching it now for the second time, it might have actually gotten worse. It's not bad, it's just really dull and feels unnecessary. Positives first. Animation's still great, voice acting is still good, action scenes are still fun, Balthazar Brat is a solid villain, all the scenes with Lucy adjusting to motherhood are so sweet and heartwarming. Best scenes in the movie. The music is really good, and the final battle is fantastic. This movie has its problems, but it delivers in the final act. But unfortunately, everything else here is not only a downgrade from the second film, but it's just overall bad. The writing's horrible, the humor's cringe and not at all funny. I did not laugh a single time in this movie. Again, considering how funny 2 was, that's inexcusable. Drew is a terrible character. The stupid twin of the main antagonist cliché. Splitting Gru and the Minions into 2 separate storylines while not sounding bad on paper is just totally pointless in execution, as the Minion side is just stupid and feels completely disjointed from the actual narrative. I mean, aside from them going to prison, they literally do nothing in this movie. It's dumb. It's so freaking stupid and has no place in the movie. The plot is a huge mess with way too many storylines going on at one time, because you have Gru and his twin brother doing their thing, you have Lucy adjusting to motherhood, that whole thing, then you have the Minions' own little side story that adds nothing, but somehow is still its own thing, and then you have the AVL getting someone else, and them trying to capture Balthazar, then you have Balthazar's story and his motivation. It's just way too much, man, and it doesn't do a good job giving each of them enough runtime to actually fully impact the story and the overall narrative. The pacing is amateur, to put it nicely. The runtime feels way too long, the rewatchability is pretty much non-existent, the world building is completely absent, it takes place in a separate part of the world and that's it. Outside of that, there's literally little to no world building in this movie at all, and it sucks. Balthazar's voice acting is way too South Park for my liking. Yes, I get he's voiced by Trey Parker, who's one of the creators of South Park, but he could have at least tried to make his voice distinct. I mean, it literally just feels like him putting on a South Park voice. He even has a robot named Clive. Yeah, I don't know if that was done intentionally because the people that made Despicable Me are fans of South Park, or if it was just put there and they didn't realize it until afterwards. Either way, it's just Trey Parker doing a South Park voice. I mean, come on, man, you could have tried more than that. And the whole thing overall just feels like a lazy corporate cash-in to attempt to keep the series relevant and build upon the unearned success of the Minions movie. How that movie made $1 billion is beyond me, and we'll talk all about that next time. Overall, though, this is just a below-average, derivative, contrived, dull, cliché, and boring animated movie that is just not worth your time. It has its moments, and it's not flat-out bad, but it's just such a huge downgrade from the first two that honestly, in the end, it doesn't even matter. It's unacceptable, it is lazy, and it screams corporate. I'm hoping 4 is not the same way, but considering how it's already getting rotten reviews and it's not even out yet, that does not bode well. Final verdict is a 4 out of 10. A 4. It's unacceptably lazy, and it's inexcusably dumb. Just unacceptable follow-up to the second film, and it's better off being skipped. I don't hate this movie, but it didn't need to exist. And that's pretty much all my thoughts on Despicable Me 3. Yeah, I'm not going super in-depth with ones. I'm not going super in-depth with this one because it doesn't deserve it. Sorry, I can't English today. See you next time for Minions.
We cannot take it anymore. The time has come to go. So prepare to fight. We're ready for this. I really hope that I'm ready for this.